Let's get straight to the point. Number 8. The debt that can't be repaid. Help creates an invisible bill. Even when you say, "Don't worry about it," the other person's nervous system often hears, "You owe me." And if they can't pay it back with money, effort, or loyalty, they pay it back a different way, by rewriting reality. They convince themselves your help wasn't that big, you had an agenda, or you were showing off. Because if they admit you truly lifted them up, they have to sit with a painful feeling, being beneath you. Betrayal becomes a shortcut to emotional balance. If I knock you down, the debt disappears. Number 7. The humiliation hiding inside gratitude. People love the idea of being supported. They don't always love the sensation of needing support. For some personalities, receiving help feels like being exposed, like standing under a spotlight holding a sign that says, "I couldn't do it alone." So they smile, say thank you, and feel shame at the same time. And shame is not a gentle emotion. Shame looks for an exit. Sometimes it exits as anger. Sometimes it exits as cold distance. Sometimes it exits as sabotage. Not because you harmed them, but because your help reminded them of a version of themselves they can't stand. Number 6. The rescuer becomes the mirror. When you help someone, you don't just give them resources, you accidentally hand them a reflection. Your competence highlights their chaos. Your stability highlights their poor choices. Your discipline highlights their excuses. Even if you never say a word, your existence becomes an uncomfortable comparison. And humans don't like comparisons, they lose. So instead of rising to meet the mirror, some people try to crack it. They gossip, they nitpick, they suddenly discover flaws in you that weren't a problem before. If they can make you look smaller, they can stop feeling small. Number 5. The loyalty test you didn't know you started. Helping someone can quietly shift the relationship into a power imbalance. Not always in reality, but in the emotional scoreboard. They start scanning you for signs you'll use your leverage. They analyze your tone. They overinterpret your advice. They assume control where there is none. And here's the trap. Once they believe you have power over them, they start resisting you to prove they're free. So they do the opposite of what you suggest. They rebel, they undermine, they choose the worst option purely because it isn't yours. Betrayal in this case is not personal, it's a protest. Number 4. The "I outgrew you" illusion. This one is brutal because it looks like confidence. You help someone level up, new job, new friends, new identity. And suddenly they treat you like an old outfit they're embarrassed to be seen wearing. Psychologically, this is often a form of self-protection. They associate their old life with weakness, and because you were present during that weak chapter, you become contaminated in their mind. They don't just want a new future, they want to delete the evidence of who they used to be. Cutting you off isn't always about hating you. Sometimes it's about trying to erase their own history. Number 3. Dependence turns into resentment. The more you help, the more they may rely on you. And reliance feels good until it starts feeling like a cage. If they believe they can't succeed without you, they don't feel thankful, they feel trapped. Your support becomes proof of their incompetence. So instead of saying, "I need to become stronger," they say, "You're controlling." Instead of saying, "I'm afraid," they say, "You think you're better than me." Resentment grows in the space where autonomy should have been built. Then, one day, they escape, and they call it betrayal, but in their mind, it's liberation. Number 2. The story they tell to stay innocent. Most people would rather be cruel than be wrong, because being wrong means accountability, and accountability means guilt. So when someone harms the very person who supported them, their brain races to build a defense attorney. It edits the past. It pick-chooses your mistakes. It invents motives you never had. It turns your boundaries into abandonment and your advice into judgment. This is how they sleep at night, not by becoming better, but by making you worse in the narrative. And if they can recruit other people to believe that story too, even better. Now it feels like justice. Number 1. The boundary that reveals who they are. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. Sometimes betrayal happens the moment you stop being useful, the moment you say no, the moment you ask for respect, the moment you need something back. Because your help wasn't the foundation of a relationship, it was the price of admission. If someone only treats you well while you're giving, they don't love you, they love access. So when the access ends, the mask slips, and what looks like sudden betrayal is often just delayed honesty. So, what do you do with this? You don't stop being kind, but you stop being careless with your kindness. Help with limits, give with clarity, and watch what happens when you require basic decency in return. The people who value you will adjust. The people who were exploiting you will attack. And if this video hit a little too close to home, you're not alone. Hit the like button so the algorithm shows this to the people who keep blaming themselves for being generous. And in the comments, tell us what's the most expensive lesson you've learned about helping the wrong person.